Hello. Now we go on to a session of powerolap. We will look at the various features of the powerolap, and we have followed the powerolap quick manual. So first of all, we are going to open the database and go to the browser database, and we look at M1 Trading Company. Say OK. Next, we shall look at the dimensions. So we'll look at each of these dimensions. So for example, I look at account, and I say edit. So you can add a subclass of dimensions. You can create a new member. You can specify the kind of dimension it is. You can look at measures, non-currency, and so forth. You can look at have an alias member. You can have groups. This is basically for the properties. That means you can specify the type of the dimension entity it is, and that will come in the Excel reports. The member persistent is basically for confirmed dimensions. This is, you can basically add it as a child dimension, this thing. So for example, if I have untitled 3 and I want to put this as a child of revenue, so I simply click this. So within the revenue, this dimension entity comes. You can add all the members as child. You can add weights. So for example, if I have this dimension entity, each person has a weight, so I can add 1 or -1 each time, and then this is basically for validation. And this basically gives the customized hierarchy within a dimension. So for example, if I have this, then all these dimension entities, which are these detail objects, will basically be collated under the total operating expenses. So this basically adds a hierarchy under the dimension. Next, we add a cube. So I say approve, say, and then I say do, and I say add, and then I add the various dimensions. So I can add account, I can add margin, I can add year, I can add month, and I can add sales. So I have a port 2 as a cube, which is mentioned. I also have the option of adding various formulas. So you have a number of formulas which you can add within the OLAP cube. That is extensive. Next, we create a slice view. So I say OK, and then I get, say, this kind of a format. So I can change the slice the way I want it to, mark it to columns, to rows, rows to columns. I can add the data. I can drill down. I can even add the data in these slices. So it will automatically, the cube will get updated. You can look at edit options, look at calculation mode, read and write into a table, look at formats, licensing, even have a portal. And once I made all the updations, I simply press F9 and the cube gets updated. I can save the slice. I can type it as approve analysis. And I can create an Excel worksheet out of the same. I would click on, say, the year along the columns, along the rows. If I double click on these rows, then I can mark it. I can get selected data, and then I have F9. So this is basically, these are all OLAP members which are linked up with the Excel sheets. So I can double click on this. It's all along the rows. You can play with the formulas. So I can simply go edit here. So I can go power OLAP, and I can go to the edit formula. I can mark it as OLAP read. I can pick up the database. I can pick up the cube, evaluate, and simply mark it as 0. See, we just mark it as 0, evaluate.